Hi friends, it's your buddy Matt, the Global Ergonomist, also known as the Ergo Shaman. Welcome to another edition of Strong Qigong. This one was a fun one as well. We explored variations of the Ba Dua Jin, the 8 Brocades, a couple of specific activities, mainly drawing the bow to shoot the arrow, and the Shaolin Punch. Strong Qigong is a chance to explore these things. We're not as meticulous and exacting as formal Tai Chi and Qigong practice. You're allowed to be sloppy, you're allowed to try new things. We're more like the jazz to Tai Chi's classical music, if that makes sense. So do join us and do come back. Remember to hit the like button, remember to hit the notification bell, and we're always glad to have you. We get ourselves ready by taking the deep, slow, quiet, even breaths, in through the nose and out from the mouth. The reason we exhale through the mouth is because we can purse lips. By doing that, we can control the exhale. And our goal is always to lengthen the exhale. This tips our autonomic nervous system towards rest and digest, the parasympathetic branch. Respiratory rate falls, heart rate falls, everything calms down, blood vessels dilate. All this happens with the parasympathetic nervous system. So we extend every exhale and we start to use the lower lungs, the floating lungs they're called, because they're not affixed to your sternum. And as you exhale out, you squeeze a little more, and those lower lobes of the lungs squeeze out. The ribs, I believe I meant ribs. So exhale out, squeeze a little more air out, and then notice the deep inhale. We learn from that the key to taking a deep breath isn't how much we draw in. The key to taking a deep breath is how much we puff out at the bottom of every breath. So continue to focus on that. Now begin to sharpen your mind on the stone of the breaths by seeking out the fleeting moment where your out breath becomes your in breath, where your in breath becomes your out breath. Remember, the goal isn't to find that moment. It's fleeting. It's infinitesimal. The goal is to seek it. And by doing so, you're sharpening your mind on the stone of the breath, just as if you were sharpening a beautiful heirloom samurai sword that was so well crafted. You want to pay close attention to that edge. Find that fleeting moment where you flip the blade from one side to the other, sharpening the mind on the stone of the breath, a beautiful visualization. And if your eyes are closed, that's great. Begin to allow them to slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower, and we'll begin our warm-ups, beginning from head to toe, with what we know as the yoga neck roll. We take a deep breath in and our head floats like a balloon. As we exhale, we purse our lips as if we're letting air out of the balloon and let our chin drop to our chest. When we inhale again, we inhale and sweep one ear past one shoulder. We exhale, drop chin to chest, and then inhale opposite ear past opposite shoulder. We exhale, drop chin to chest, inhale, ear past shoulder. We go from side to side, rocking with our breath, moving in unison. Our diaphragm and our inner ear moving in harmony. Our phrenic nerve and our vagus nerve moving in harmony. Our upper respiratory sinus moving in harmony. Warming it up and readying it to go. On your next exhale, invite your chin to pause at chest and then inhale back upright as we work into our shoulder girdles. We begin to loop the shoulder girdles forward and upward as we inhale. We bring them around back and squeeze downward as we exhale. So we make these big dramatic loops with our breath, looping forward and upward with every inhale, squeezing downward and backward with each exhale. Big loops. You can let your body get involved. When you see some of the depictions of this on social media, I always suggest learning about Tai Chi, Qigong, and Shaolin Kung Fu. You will see people getting their whole body involved in this, so don't be bashful. Really get into it as you take these big Daje rolls, waking up the area between the shoulder blades, known as the Daje point. Beautifully done. After a few more, relax the shoulders, and then turn eyes towards one hand and begin to scoop up and down from side to side, scooping with palm up, tossing with palm down behind you. Beautifully done. As I scoop past my next batch of sun tea beside me here, an old North Florida favorite. We scoop with palm up, we toss with palm down. Looping and scooping. The eyes follow the hand. We call this windmills. It just gets our upper body and middle respiratory sinus and upper respiratory sinus warmed up. And then begin to reel these hands and its looping movement backward, back into your shoulder blades, and begin rolling each shoulder. Big circles from side to side, looping, shifting weight, turning trunk. Allow yourself this freedom of movement to turn as far as you'd like. As you do so, you've already got the rhythm going to go right into the lower respiratory sinus and the lower thoracic spine. Simply ragdoll, go from side to side. Let the hands flail from the body naturally. And use that momentum of shifting weight and turning trunk. Beautifully done. Getting this gentle twist into the trunk. You're in complete control. And then from here we go into pellet drum or prayer drum. We simply use this momentum of our trunk to allow our hands to slap or tap the top of the opposite shoulder and the low back. So feel free to do so. Slapping or tapping, side to side. Beautifully done. And as you slap and as you tap the top of the shoulder and maybe the low back with the other hand, begin to work down to the top of your chest, up around your collarbone where it's safe to slap or tap. Give yourself as sharp a slap or as light a tap as you feel you need today. After you've done top of the chest, drop to those bottom floating ribs. Let's go ahead and do those for a little bit. Get those warmed up and wakened up. And then we'll drop down to the hip. We'll allow the momentum to slap and tap the hips. We'll work our way into the lumbar, lower half of the body now. We'll let our hands drift to our hips. Begin big hula hoops, looping the hips. Make them as big and comfortable and dramatic as you feel is appropriate. Limbering up the whole lumbo-pelvic hip complex. And then, whichever direction you chose, simply pause and loop in the opposite direction. Well done. After you've gone in each direction, we'll say that the lumbar spine is warmed up. Stirring the bowl is what we call this one. Then we'll allow ourselves to settle in the middle. And we'll step out into a wider, lower stance, known as Mabu, the horse stance, as if you're riding a horse. We take a deep breath in, and then we exhale as we turn our shoulders and drop down. When we inhale again, we turn our shoulders, we rise to pause. We exhale, turn shoulders, drop down. Inhale, rise to pause, and we continue from side to side. This movement is one we borrow from the Shaolin. This is called the Great Bear Swings from side to side. And there's many variations. If you go onto social media and watch some of them, you'll see some very limber people doing some dramatic versions of this one. You don't have to worry about that. Just do what you can comfortably. Feel the power in your hips as you shift weight from one foot to the other. That's your lower Dantian. At the bottom of this next one, pause, and then staying in horse stance, get yourself back upright. And let's finish by just shifting weight on a figure eight. So you'll notice you're shifting weight from one foot to the other, but you're kind of looping the hips backward as you do so. This is a proper form in a lot of Tai Chi and Qigong moves. Getting used to moving from the lower Dantian like this allows you to keep your 3 energy centers stacked perfectly on one another as you move. And that's always what we strive for in Tai Chi and Qigong and Shaolin Kung Fu, is keeping those 3 energy centers stacked on top of one another so that we're not bending forward at the waist and flailing around. Now, go ahead and return to center and bring your feet back in. Find that comfortable stance somewhere between shoulder width apart, hip width apart, whatever's comfortable. And we finish up by shifting weight onto one foot, raise the opposite heel, and loop inward. And after a few inward loops, pause for a few outward loops. Let the ankle and foot warm up too. Then take weight through that foot, raise the opposite heel, loop inward. And after some inward loops, a few outward loops. Well done. Now allow your center of gravity to settle within your base of support. Before we leave, let's gently clasp our hands in front of our heart and roll wrists for a few rolls in one direction, and then a few rolls in the other direction. We hate to leave the upper limbs out completely, other than our windmills. Now, allow the hands to melt down. When you inhale again, inhale them up towards the heart as we begin our Qigong breathing. So with each inhale, as the fingers and hands rise, we exhale down. We continue to breathe in this manner. This is Qigong breathing. We're breathing between 2 of our energy centers, the middle Dantian and the lower Dantian. And to use this warm-up and visualization exercises, we'll call on the upper Dantian. So if you're comfortable doing so, invite your eyes to close, or at least make the softest gaze possible. And use the power of your own personal visualization, imagination, and concentration. This exercise, this movement, this practice is called cleansing the inner body. With each inhale, as your palms rise, visualize glowing mist forming in the core of the earth, rising with each inhale through the soles of your feet, through your inner body to collect in your upper Dantian. And with each exhale, as you exhale and your palms melt down, imagine that glowing mist formed a glowing cloud, that glowing cloud formed a glowing rain, and that glowing rain gently rains down and washes through your inner body, through the soles of your feet and back into the earth. So this is a powerful Qigong visualization known as cleansing the inner body. With each inhale, the glowing mist rises. With each exhale, the glowing rain falls, and you cleanse your inner body and prepare for all that follows. Beautifully done. When your hands rise again, invite them to pause at heart height in a hugging stance. This stance we know lovingly as stands like tree, and this is where we take inventory of our alignment. So with long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. As our spine gently stretches between them, we call this the string of pearls in the ancient Asian literature. Our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one, as our feet remain parallel in a firm-rooted stance like a mighty oak. And with soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, or best of all, eyes closed, our 3 Dantian are balanced perfectly on one another, as if we gathered 3 smooth river rocks and stacked them perfectly on life's river's edge. And if eyes are closed, enjoy it as you use the power of your own visualization, concentration, and imagination. And you see the warm-ups that you did, your yoga neck roll and your Daje Rolls, your windmills and your pellet drum, your stirring the bowl and the great bear swing. See the movements, feel them course through you. And if eyes are closed, enjoy it as the hands begin a slow journey downward till your thumbs cross over your belly button and your folded fingers rest below in the area known lovingly as the lower Dantian, the cauldron of the body. With each extended exhale through closed eyes and pursed lips, imagine blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the body, and as you do, you delight in the growing, glowing light. As you draw the light upward, and you begin to blow on the embers of the cauldron of the heart, in the chest cavity, the two lower Dantian. You blow on them gently. You watch the embers respond, and they fill your inner galaxy. They spill beyond your inner galaxy, and the light fills the space around you and within you with light, warm, silken chi energy. May your body stay strong, and may your heart stay calm. If your eyes are closed, enjoy it as your hands begin to slowly melt down till your eyes feel ready to gently, slowly flutter open as a butterfly might leave a flower. Well done. Now we step into the center of our little boat, and the hand on this side of the room or screen floats before the heart in a gentle fist. The hand on this side covers it. We take a deep breath into straight. We slowly exhale and bow to one another, and this is a gesture of mutual respect. As we inhale ourselves back upright in gratitude for the tradition, when we exhale, our hands melt down. When we inhale again, we inhale our hands an inch apart. We slowly and deliberately exhale down our center line. This is centering the chi. We'll do one more, and we do one in the Shaolin fashion. We bring our palms together. And as we exhale down, we only pause at the heart center, the middle Dantian, as the Shaolin do. We do this since we borrow so much from them. We inhale, our elbows rise, and our exhale, our hands melt down. We always want to show appreciation to the Shaolin for all that they share. We step out now into our little boat. We unlock our knees. We inhale, our hands up again an inch apart. And as we exhale, our knees and hands melt in concert with our breath. We continue to rise and inhale. The hands and knees float upward. We fall and exhale. The hands and knees melt downward. As we do so, we pay attention to our alignment. We keep our three Dantian perfectly stacked on one another, like those three smooth river rocks on life's river's edge. Beautifully done. This is syncing the chi, where we begin and end our sessions together. Now, the next time the hands drop, I'd like you to pause at the bottom, palms facing downward, and then inhale your arms up in front of you about heart height, and then exhale back down in this manner. This is known as opening the door, and you'll see this in formal Tai Chi and Qigong routines. We're using it here to prepare us for where we travel next. So when your hands rise again, I'd like you to spread them wide. Beautifully done. I'd like you to step out into horse stance, just your own comfortable horse stance. Doesn't have to be too wide, doesn't have to be too low. The hand on this side of your screen drops down and winds up in front of the opposite shoulder in a gentle fist. The hand on this side holds up two fingers. This is called sword hand. We're about to do one of the Badwa Jin, one of the 8 brocades. This is drawing bow to shoot the arrow. So what we'll do is, in the proper form, is to look beyond your sword hands as if you're aiming at something with a bow and arrow. We take a deep breath in, and as we exhale, We melt down as we draw the bow back, so the knees drop down. And then when we inhale, we switch to the other side. We inhale up, hold up the sword hand, exhale as you drop down. We continue from side to side, inhaling and rising, exhaling and falling, drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. One of the 8 brocades, one of the favorite. Beautifully done. Now, as we've talked about in Strong Qigong, since this is group fitness, we're not quite as meticulous and exacting as the formal practices. And we explore some of the variations that are out there. There's lots of variations of the Ba Dua Jin. So we'll explore a couple of different approaches to drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. One of them is, instead of aiming at horizon height as we're doing now, we're going to start to aim above the horizon. When we do, we'll shift our weight to one foot and the other, the opposite foot of where we're aiming. So prepare yourself. On this next one, simply aim a little higher and draw towards that back foot. Then switch sides. Draw the bow. Continue to switch from side to side. Notice how you're shifting weight from one foot to the other. Inhale the hands up. Exhale as you draw, drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. Beautifully done. Now, another form is where we reach up overhead as we inhale, and then we drop as low as we can go as we draw the bow to shoot the arrow. So we'll explore that form next. So prepare yourself. On this next one, as you inhale up, reach up, and then exhale down and draw across. Inhale, reach up, and draw across. Loop up, and exhale down. Beautifully done. Reaching as you inhale, drawing as you exhale. Beautifully done. And those are 3 variations of drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. On this next one, pause at the bottom and spread the hands wide. Beautifully done. Now, feel comfortable. Get your horse stance, which feels comfortable. Bring your fists into your hips, 2 gentle fists. For Shaolin Punch, we'll take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll simply punch to one side. We'll inhale back, nice and slow and controlled. Exhale, punch to the other side. The Shaolin Punch is another of the 8 brocades. And as I've said, there's lots of variation in Tai Chi and Qigong. When you start to explore it, you realize there's no one way. There's many ways. So that's what we do in Strong Qigong. We explore the many ways. Beautifully done. One variation of Shaolin Punch. Coming up, we'll do another one that we borrow from Shaolin Temple Europe. I'm going to ask you to pause in the middle, then come up on one foot in a punching stance. Inhale, bring them to the hips and switch. Exhale. And inhale to the switch. Exhale. Beautifully done. Continue from side to side. If you watch some of the videos from Shaolin Temple Europe, this is one of their warm-ups. Inhale and punch. Exhale. Well done. Continue from side to side. The Shaolin Punch on one leg. Beautifully done. And then we'll do more of a traditional form. Let's pause in our horse stance, gentle fist. This is the one that I was taught by my teacher. We take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we tighten the arm and the fist, the entire arm up as we sink down. As we inhale, we soften the arm, draw it back, and then the other fist comes out. Same thing, tighten as we sink. Soften as we rise and switch. Exhale down, push out hard, inhale back soft. Control. You're pushing out yang energy, you're drawing back yin energy. Now, to complete it, you're actually supposed to make angry eyes, angry face as you push out, then soften the eyes, soften the face as you draw back. And that's really pushing out the yang energy as you sink down and push. And inhale back. The Shaolin Punch, one of the 8 brocades, beautifully done. There are other variations. One of the variations is when you simply roll your wrist so thumb is to the side, then you loop back as you inhale. Push out firmly, you loop back softly. This is another variation as you sink down and rise with each inhale, sink down with each exhale. A final variation is dropping the elbow. So you simply drop down, and then inhale and switch, drop down. Well done. Rise with the breath, fall with the breath. These are variations of the Shaolin Punch. And drawing the bow to shoot the arrow. You see, there are many ways to do these classic routines. And on this next one, I'd like you to pause at the bottom, bring your stance back into a comfortable, square center stance. Sink your chi. Exhale down. Inhale and rise. Exhale and fall. Beautifully done. When the hands drop again, pause at the bottom. Open the door, rise with the breath, and fall with the breath. Floating and melting in concert with the breath, harmony with each other. When your hands rise again, invite them to spread wide and stand like tree. With long neck and light head floating upward, our heavy shoulders and our heavy tail melt downward. As our spine stretches between them in the string of pearls, our hands hover as if we're tenderly hugging a long-lost loved one. Our feet are parallel in a firm, rooted stance like a mighty oak. With soft knees and soft belly, soft breath and soft gaze, our 3 Dantian are balanced perfectly on one another. Like 3 smooth river rocks we gathered and placed atop one another on life's river's edge. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it as we see the movements we just completed in our mind's eye and feel the energy coursing through us. Drawing the bow to shoot the arrow, the Shaolin Punch, east and west, the Shaolin Punch on one leg, the Shaolin Punch in classic form. And if eyes are closed, we enjoy it as our hands begin the final journey downward. The thumbs crossing over the belly button, the folded fingers warming on the cauldron of the body as we resume blowing on the embers of the cauldron of the heart and the cauldron of the body. We resume blowing on the embers. The embers respond by glowing and growing brighter and brighter, and we draw that light up to begin blowing on the embers of the upper Dantian, the seat of our compassion, emotion, discernment, the home of the third eye center, where we enjoy our own personal visualization, imagination, and concentration. And we blow on the embers of all three cauldron and fill the inner galaxy with the brightest light yet. It spills beyond the inner galaxy. It bathes the space around us. It spills beyond the space around us. It bathes the world around us. It fills the world around us and bathes life itself around us with light, warm, silken Qi energy. And may your body stay strong, and may your heart stay calm, and may your mind stay sharp, and may your spirit stay free. If eyes are closed, enjoy it as the hands melt to your side, only inviting your eyes to gently, slowly flutter open, just as a butterfly might leave a flower. Finally, we step into the center of our little boat where we began. We inhale our hands up an inch apart, just as promised. And we slowly exhale down, centering our Qi one final time. So the hand on this side of the screen floats before our heart in a gentle fist. The hand on this side covers it. And together we take a deep breath in and straighten. We slowly exhale and bow, and you give yourself this much-deserved, much-earned round of applause for being the light you made in the world today. Thank you so much.